And now, another poetic moment by Alan Bradford. They fought for freedom. You treated them like outcasts. They gave up their lives. You lived yours in ignorance. They came home to shattered lives with broken bodies. You may call them names like baby killer and warmonger, but don't forget, you have that right because they fought for your freedom.
Welcome back. Today's poem, Don't Forget, is about the soldiers that go over to fight for our freedom. Actually, anybody's freedom. Now, in this case, the name calling, things like that, that was mostly with Vietnam, but it happens in every war. And it also, I'm sure, is happening with the Iraqi war. So, this poem is geared mostly towards those people who do call names, who sit there and hate the people who come back as soldiers, and who basically hate the whole idea of trying to wage war on somebody like Hussein and Osama bin Laden, all of those. Now, while I do not like war, I detest the whole idea of war. It is necessary in stopping people. And this was a lesson learned with World War II. Now, if we wouldn't have gone out when we did, we would basically be living under German rule right now. No offense to the current Germans, because they had nothing to do with World War II. But the point is, the Third Reich, as far as Hitler was concerned, he started off wanting a small piece of land, and it just kept on growing because he was given that small piece of land. And it just kept on growing and growing, and people kept on saying, I don't want to be involved, I don't want to be involved. And what happened was it escalated to the point where he started taking more and more and gaining strength. Now, what's going on now is we are trying to stop the people, these dictators and people like that, from getting their little pieces of land to gain strength. So, as far as what's going on with Iraq, now we've ended Saddam Hussein's rule with his death, and the people now have to make their own choices. And I do believe that we are getting ready to pull out, and I think that's great. But point is, when the remaining soldiers come home, don't treat them as outcasts. Don't treat them as haters and warmongers and people like that. These are just people who are trying to preserve freedom. And that is the whole point of this poem. Now, as far as the photograph I took in 2006 when the Traveling Vietnam Memorial was out here in South Portland, Maine. It was at the Spring Point Light, and I actually purposefully went out before sunrise so that I could get this shot with the sun coming over the memorial, because I wanted something special. It was unplanned that somebody just happened to be standing there. That was just pure luck. And it happened to be somebody dressed as a soldier. I don't know if he was. He probably was, but it was a good unplanned situation. It ended up having the effect that I wanted. So, the whole point: don't treat soldiers as outcasts. That's all. Welcome them home and treat them with respect, because they are out there fighting for not only our freedom, but other people's freedoms as well, and giving their freedom back to them. So, that's about it for the poem today. And don't forget, leave topics for future poems in the comments below. And if you want to see the text and the photo, I'll put the link in the underground. Thank you, have a nice day, and enjoy.
Now it's time to say goodbye from APB 148, and I would like to thank you all because you were really great.
I'd like to invite you back tomorrow to this locality, but I think I better sign off now because I really gotta pee.